I will speak English. Thank you very much for the applause, and thank you very much for this kind receiving. Huh? No, it's okay. By the raise of hand, please, who in this nice room is working with Python as his major language? That's great. Who is working with other languages except Python? That's great. And who plays Dota? Nice. So I see you here, there on the back. You didn't raise a hand for none of these questions. You're just here for the good environment? And for the token, okay. Everybody's welcome. So I'm going to start with introduction of myself. I'm a father of a 2.5-month-year-old boy, Michele, the father of two-year-old beagle called Malta. They're not here with me today, but they will be waiting for me at home. I have a narrow specialization. I'm a reverse engineer specialist and have been tracking the technology that has been on the web for quite some time. The tools that I have used almost all the tools that are currently present on the market to acquire the unstructured data from the web. And I became some sort of Scrapy evangelist, meaning that I will not approach you in the street wanting to talk about the Scrapy, but when I have a time and such a good, brilliant audience as you, I would usually speak about Scrapy or Scrapy as they want to translate it, transcript it in their site, as the very powerful tool. And today we're going to do a short walk. I hope it will be a pleasant walk, like a walk in the park, not a horror movie for you. Yes, I'm a Dota player as well, and the code will be available on the GitHub, the one that we're going to review today. We're going to do a little bit of coding, but nothing of the heavy lifting, just to give you a touch of the muscles and bones of this code, of what is happening. So we're going to talk about what is Dota2. So if somebody doesn't know what is happening there, we're going to speak about the typical requirements of a data-oriented and data-centered project. We're going to overview of the Scrapy components, so you are familiar with them, that once you do your pip install Scrapy, at some point in your project, in your business, you know what to expect and you know where to look for possible benefits and problems. We're going to do the small overview and then we're going to go into the QA session. So, what is Dota? Dota is a competitive game. It has the map like this that you see on your screen. Basically, you have the team of 5 versus 5. It's often full of insults and mistakes and remorses, but it's usually, it has become very huge. Needless to say, on the recent tournaments, they have been releasing the visas that are being acquired by athletes, so they are tracking participants of this game as the cyber athletes, and they are becoming more and more popular. This game consists of 123 heroes. It is huge on the web, 11 million monthly active users. And there are serious money playing behind this game. So they are doing very big tournaments. Last one in 2021 was $40 million. It is the pool price, meaning that not one person holds this money at the end of the game, but it was split between the teams. But generally this amount, this volume, is an excellent example for us to view and to work our way into the data that is present there on the web, and to find, to get the actual useful data for us. What are the typical requirements that we can set for this project? And Scrapy is a framework that is good enough to kick off. Either your friends is coming to you saying, hey, and we all have this friends saying, I have this idea for the million, let's get the data, we're going to sell it, we're going to be rich, we're going to buy ourselves a house on Maldives. It's either this case scenario when you need a small scraping, or you are thinking about the production solution. Scrapy is sufficing all of the interests. We, however, going into this idea that Dota, we want, they release, from time to time, they release updates to this game, right? So they change the parameters of heroes and they call it the patches. So in the new patch, they have the best heroes and nobody knows how to use them. But the data is out there, the results of the matches. And what we realistically want to do, we want to get a slice of data, slice it nicely, so we get a vision what is the top 3, let's say, popular hero that are most successful, that has the highest win rate. And we want to be able to select those heroes in our game and to make sure that nobody is counter-picking those heroes. This is the set of the task, set of requirements. Counter-picking is a term meaning that some heroes are stronger against another, so we want to make sure that those that we are not counter-picked. And the user story is basically the one that I have described to you. We want to use the data available for us, unstructured data. We want to make some sort of aggregation on available data, and we want to get it fresh. We want to basically, once the patch is over, nobody has the idea how to play the heroes. We have this big advantage with analyzing a big chunk of data. We have the data source. It's opendota.com. We're going to use that one for this particular case study. And they offer also API, but we're going to just look on the open web. We also have the time frame for this. We basically don't want to spend a lot of time. We don't want to create a project that will be hard on maintenance. We want to have a very fast time from idea to market, because this is what the Scrapy is all about. So what is essentially Scrapy? We're going to look at the data sources a little bit later on. And my topic was basically a clickbait, a sugarcoat, just so you don't get scared of this diagram, honestly. But all the data and Dota stuff is really irrelevant. It's just to make your journey into the Scrapy a little bit more comfortable. So think about all this schema. In the center of the Scrapy is the engine, the scraping engine, which is built on a very, very cool tech. It's built on Twisted engine, on Twisted technology. It's asynchronous. It's very high performant. It does its asynchronous job, but in a non-blocking manner. And web scraping as a task, obtaining the data in the large amount, is benefiting greatly when you have the latency on I/O processes in input/output. So this is one perfect piece of technology. Even if you will not ever look into Scrapy as your technology to get you the data provisioning, Twisted is still a very powerful tool to discover. It is written very well. It is in Scrapy world, it is something that will be controlling and following all of the flows in and out of our data in a synchronous manner. We have the scheduler as a component of our whole infrastructure. Scheduler is coming into place when we receive the certain amount of requests. We are scheduling them, and we are forgetting about them. They will eventually work or not work. We're not interested in this one. Engine has did it work. We have scheduler either as a persistent layer or a default out-of-box scheduler for Scrapy. And scheduler knows that we have this scheduled. It has its very well-written methods. And it's based on deferred class of Twisted engine. Then we have the downloader. Downloader that will be actually if all of the components are very nice, white collar looking nicely gentlemen, then downloader is the heavy lifter. It's actually the one who will be establishing the connection with the server. And downloader is highly configurable in Scrapy. It doesn't really matter if we wanted just to bring on board this project with the Dota analysis, but it's becoming more and more important over last 2 probably years when the data is being more and more protected by bot protection system. We, by highly configured downloader, we are able to decrease and configure on lower level the communication that is happening, and once we receive the data, we are becoming visible also to server. So being invisible to server is the guarantee of maintaining the high quality data across the board. Then we have our Spider. Spider is the working unit, what you can think about as the boilerplate for every Scrapy project. Spiders will be something that if you have it on your production, your developers will be working with. These are simple Python classes that will contain some kind of logic that will describe what the engine should schedule, what the engine should download, what will happen in your communication with the web once your production is happening. Then we have our item pipeline. And here we have the access, here we have the out-of-box solution for a lot of ETL processes that are happening. Since we all know that Python is a dynamically typed language, we want to have this possibility to describe the data that we will eventually retrieve. We need to have this possibility if we are working in a distributed environment, and we want to keep track of the data collection that we received. And it's a very powerful tool, one of the powerful features of the Scrapy. Download middlewares, if you're coming from the Django world, they're doing basically the very similar thing. They are highly configured hooks that basically connects the request and response. In this manner, you're able to obtain very high agility of your request. For example, should you need to supply your request headers with some specific cookie or some specific authorization information. This is done on the middlewares, and it does basically the same function as in Django middlewares. It takes off the pressure from the developer not to look in the whole totality of your kitchen, but basically you have a middleware support. If you need to work on them, you have either specialized people working with them, or you have your specific task to work with a middleware. If you don't need to work with middleware, if you need to describe the logic, you go in a separate dedicated part of the spider and you describe your scraping logic there. So they are encapsulating very nicely the functionality. The difference between downloader middleware and spider middleware is basically how they operate on the hooks. They are doing more or less the same function, and you will be able to assign. You can plug in as many middlewares as you want. You will be able to assign them the numerical value, and your engine will take care of passing your request through those middlewares one by one. So at this point, I'm going to switch to our coding and to my PyCharm. Let's see if it reproduces something. Is it going to work? Yeah, it worked today. And basically, we're going to go into the project. We're going to touch the basis of the Scrapy framework itself, because I do believe that we became the Python developers for one reason. It is worth knowing and it's worth working with the technology because you can try, you can put it on test, and you can immediately see what is happening on your backend. I have previously installed Scrapy. It comes with a lot of libraries, a lot of dependencies under hood, and basically we're going to go one-on-one looking at the functionality. I did some kind of quick cheat sheet for me. Scrapy itself has the access to a great command line interface, the one that you coming from the Django world will probably assume, and it allows us to bootstrap very quickly a default out-of-box battery included solution for very compact crawling. The one that I'm going to use right now, if my computer will allow me to copy just this one, please. The one we're going to use now, we're going to quickly create a project called Dota Scraper. It creates the boilerplate for this one. Under hood, it creates the tree structure. We're going to go over a few of the most important components, and those will be the components that we already viewed on in our previous description. We're going to go into, let me see what I scheduled here first. Yeah, we're going to need to do the one that he suggests, cd Dota Scraper, and we're going to do this one over here. No, it doesn't allow me to copy for some reason. Copy, please. So after this one, the boilerplate Scrapy is created. This will be enough to get the response from the OpenDota page. And let me just quickly show you what the OpenDota page is all about. OpenDota page is nothing more than the page where you would have some kind of unstructured data. We're interested in all of those digits. We're interested in the data that is not present on the site. We're interested into collecting this one. So let's go quickly in overview of what is happening here. We're going to look first at our settings. We have the per project settings for Scrapy, meaning that whatever is happening is a must for this particular script, as well as we have the possibility to configure inside of the project many spiders separately. Here we are using the robots obey text false because we don't want to obey the rules that the site sets to us. And we are later on plugging in the pipeline. We're going to talk about this later on. Then we're going to go to our spider class. Spider class is represented by the classical fields of start URLs. This is where your spider mechanism will be start looking into collecting the data. And I just changed it a little bit so it has more sense. This is our class. It will start its collection from an API that I have found on this site that is responsible for all of the data fetched. We're going to do one very cool thing. So for the Scrapy, we have the method parse that is being invoked automatically if none of the specific callback is mentioned. However, you need to, and basically on the method parse, what we will receive is the response, which is the response to our start URLs, which is the API that we originally want to take a look at. Here, as the response will fall all of the JSON file that we want to fetch. We do some simple manipulation. We say that we want to get our data in a JSON format. Then we say that we want, there is a method, extract top heroes, which is nothing more but the sorting method. We want to have our top heroes, and then comes a task that we're going to release from our code. This task is wrapped in a Scrapy request class. Scrapy request class is requiring few obligatory components. Only two of those is the URL actually that we're going to fire later on. Once the code is being executed at this line, once we yield our Scrapy request, this is being automatically picked up by the engine and being put on the scheduler. When we will receive the response from this one, we don't really know. What we are assigning, though, in our Scrapy request class is the callback. Callback is the synchronous part of the script. While you think about this, we execute everything asynchronously in scheduling, but processing of our response is coming in a synchronous manner. So we're saying specifically, hey, we have our top heroes that we will, I will later include on the function. We have our top heroes. Please, for every hero that we find as the top performant hero, this is your URL that I want you to work on. This will be the quarks that I'm going to pass it. I will touch this a little bit later on. But what I want you to do realistically, I want you to see the function that I'm going to paste right now called parse matchups. And parse matchups is where I'm going to take the response from the initial page, the response from the main page. I will pass this data into the callback, and I will hold in my hands two pieces of data collected on one page and on the second page, and I will be able to process some useful work. How the second callback is looking like, it's the parse matchup. Let me select it here. The second callback is what we need basically to extract, to compile all of the data. This is not a general rule for all of the sites. For the sites, you basically need to go and to do some kind of reverse engineering to get into this process. But I just know that it's the second callback that is important, that will receive our data that we collected. We collected them as quarks, and we are passing it. It is expected as the mapping and as the selected heroes, two pieces of data that we pass in the second callback. Here on the second callback, we are doing one very important thing, and I don't think I have the import on this one, but it will be from, if I can write it, from Dota Scrapper, Dota Scrapper items, I think. Items, import this one over here. So what is the Dota scraper item? It is our description of the data structure that we want eventually to send. So we did two callbacks. They were assigned by the scheduler. They were assigned by the Twisted Engine on the scheduler. Once their turn in the schedule is being fired, then we realistically will collect our piece of data. I'm gonna go very quickly into the missing method that I need to get this data done, and we're going to scrape and we're going to see what actually is the heroes that we need to select in this particular patch. This will be over here. This will be over here. So we have a bunch of, we also need to import Jmace path. Import Jmace path. Also, we are doing one very cool thing. We are adding just one pipeline, the one that I was telling you. And this pipeline will be taking care, and you can imagine, of this being done on a production level. This pipeline will be basically looking at 3 stages of your spider open. So once we open the spider, something will happen. We will create our CSV file. Once our spider, once our item is yield, meaning once our Dota, what do you call this? The Dota scraped item will be yield, something will happen. And the third one, once the spider is closed. So we want to close the reading of this file. At this point, let's kick off the extraction. I think that's it, that's all that we needed to do. We're kicking off the extraction from the general command. It's the Scrapy crawl Dota spider, and let's see if it works. Spider not found, Dota spider, the Dota spider. Okay, so I'm not here, cd Dota scraper, cd Dota, and let's repeat the command. And we're not finding this pair. So I think I failed something on settings. Let me just do very quickly the, yeah, I failed this one. Oh, no, this one. I missed one bit on the scraping. I'm doing the debugging on the production currently on my last minutes. And it should kick off. Will you? Yeah, it kicked off. So we received 2, we're trying to receive 2 of the responses. No supported field, popular hero. So we need to get here the popular hero. But let's see, the item is full, popular hero. Yeah, the item is not full. We cannot trick the system. Sometimes somewhere here is the item, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just get it quickly. Popular hero, and the second one will be counter pick heroes. Counter pick heroes, and let's see if it will work out. It should work out. Don't worry, I did it before, so yeah, it worked out. Let's see what our popular heroes are. So it looks like they are Broodmother, Earth Spirit, and Batrider. Since we have the pipeline that did the export to CSV, it didn't export to CSV at this point, so we need further debugging on this one. But we got the output on the terminal. Basically, this is what we wanted to see. If you're going to play Dota next time, pick up Broodmother or Batrider or the Earth Spirit. Right now, I am finishing off the presentation. Just a few words to say. Let me just jump on very quickly on this one. Everything is done. There is a lot of things going on in Ukraine, as you know, so let's stop the war, support and pass the words to stop this barbarianism, and I will take some of the questions from you guys.
Thank you very much, Viktor, and an amazing live
debugging
demo,
session.
Session.
It's usual Friday.
Yes.
The falling off production, let's call it like this.
That's great. And also, question was how to leverage this kind of instrument in Scrapy in production. So, if you have any more advice to put in production.
So since it's very highly custom built, you need to know that Scrapy is not a tool for, it's not a silver bullet for everything. Scrapy doesn't have few of the important components, as it doesn't have the front end, it doesn't have the built-in server, it doesn't have perfect logging that you would want to see with the dashboards and everything like this, and it doesn't have the JavaScript rendering. So you need to customly build few of the components to make it run. I run Scrapy in production with what is called the technology Scrapy, which is a web server. It allows to deploy to see where your crawls are at any point in time, and I'm leveraging the open source projects. If you're running your production and you feel like you need to decrease the cost, if you need to run it faster, then this is the time that you are looking into Scrapy.
Thank you very much. Are there any more questions for the audience directly here? Think about that. Make sure that you can also write it on Slido. Otherwise, I will ask you a question.
Yeah.
This approach, you tried directly with Dota2, you tried before with other kind of approach, games, sports, or which are the next steps you're thinking about apply the same kind of...
I'm a very bad Dota player. I don't play Dota very much. I'm stuck on 2000 MMR, I'm sorry, but I'm being a developer, I try to use the tool that I have to get a little bit better in all the angles. So I would realistically build it and put it somewhere before I start my Dota game, just to give me the idea where and what you can choose. So, and I will know top 3 heroes to play next time. And don't pick Broodmother on the last pick. This is an inside joke. It's a bad habit.
So there was a question about how do you recommend to start with this approach? If start directly with Scrapy or starting with probably a smaller library, a more simpler library, just to get on board with
I will give you a piece of advice that I heard in some time ago when I started, a lot of years ago, when I didn't have a beard and was 10 kilos less. One very good guy told me, just read the code base of Scrapy. It will make your Python better. It will make your understanding of processes better. So if you are about to start to do your pip install Scrapy, before you do it, please open the source code, take a look what is happening there. It will be a very good path for you from that point.
That's super. I saw there is no more questions, Lydio. Do you have any more questions, curiosity? Do you remember that we are also using Discord? Are you using Discord or you're still around?
I did not, but I will start using it. I should. I should.
Or what's the best way to contact you?
Definitely on Telegram. I'm on Telegram as Zagranovskyy, and also the code will be available on the GitHub, so we can see it better and play it better. There is a working version of the code. The one that I didn't set up was the live coding. Can I leave then these URLs for you, and you can put them on the Telegram?
I can put on Discord for you.
Okay, so Stefania is actually a queen of coordination, so all the questions to her, and she will help you with
I will give you the link directly from Discord. You can go to my data track, and from there in GitHub you can contact directly Viktor as well. So another round of applause. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure.